great challenge. Welcome back to my channel and my Declutter, Organize and Clean series for 2020. Can you believe it's 2020? It's pretty scary. Also known as D.O.C. Your House. It's a system that I've put together this year to help me reorganize, clean and declutter the house. Because if you've been around for a while, you know I like stuff. I like a lot of pretty things. Well, at least they're pretty to me. They may not be pretty to you. That's okay. We each have our own taste in decor. I like a lot of vintage, old, dusty stuff, books, china, you name it, decorative items. I have a lot of things around here. I've decluttered a lot in the past 6 years, and some of you have mentioned that you're really noticing the difference. I know I do. There's rooms where, like this living room is really totally transformed through my decluttering. But why am I doing it this way and what this is about? And I said I was going to talk about it in every video at the beginning, because some of you are brand new, and welcome if you are brand new to my great challenge. So there's been plenty ways of decluttering that have been going on for years. Some of them, again, is like you just focus on one room and you declutter the room, or you focus on a category of items and you just declutter that. I find those to be very overwhelming. If you have a lot of stuff, first of all, you don't see immediate results because you just buried in your stuff for endless hours, and you end up not finishing the job, or you don't do a very good job. Towards the end, you just shove stuff in a closet or a drawer, out of mind, out of sight. It's not decluttering. It's not deep decluttering. If you do it the way I'm doing it, you're gonna have an opportunity to really tackle nooks and crannies and areas of your house that you may have been avoiding or procrastinated doing in the past years or so, because of that sense of overwhelmed and stress that comes with having to declutter a large area. So what I did is that I went around my house, and in each room I divided the room into categories. I pretty much put a grid over each room and decided, okay, like for instance the living room, I have living room decor, I have the big curio, I have the smaller curio, I have that's about it for the living room. In the dining room, I would have the linen closet, the big buffet, the curio cabinet, the decorative items. So each room has its own category, and all the categories are on sticky notes, or you can use index cards, whatever works for you. You put it in a jar and you just pick one randomly. So if you do 2 a day, or even if you do just 1 a week, it doesn't matter. You never know where you're going, and that's what keeps it fun and interesting, and it forces you to do and tackle those areas you've procrastinated for years. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you guys that you absolutely love this method and it's working for you. It may not be working for everybody. Some of you love the idea of just decluttering one room or decluttering one category. But for scatterbrain like me and people who tend to get very overwhelmed and rush through the process towards the end because we just can't take it anymore, this is working. So if it's for you, let's go ahead and pick one category, a random. Let's give it a good shake. Some of these I have no desire to do. Let's be honest. Some of them I'm really looking forward to do, like the china cabinet, for instance. But it's only one sticky out of, I don't know how many I got left here, maybe 25. I have about 40. I didn't count them. I think I have, no, I couldn't possibly have 40. I did 6 so far, so we'll see. All right, let me pick one. Okay, that's it. So I got one. They're never showing the right way. I'm trying to, I don't even have my glasses, so I can't see what I'm doing.
You want me to do it?
Oh, there's 2 of them. Willie, I don't have my glasses. Do I pick this one or this one? Pick one. This one? All right. Let me put that back in. Okay. I should not have used the stickies, right? I stuck them on each other and now I can't see. Let me put my glasses on. I don't want you to think I'm putting it back in the jar. Basement, under the stairs. Okay, I said I was gonna do it. Let's do the basement, under the stairs. Oh, I've been dreading that. but I'm gonna do it because it has to be done. So here we are in the basement. This is under the stairs. What you're hearing in the background is me drying my 2 winter coats. It's snowing outside, by the way. So I figured, well, we're not going out, might as well wash the coats. So that's gonna be going on for a while. Let's remove the curtain and see what's behind the curtain, shall we? Yeah. Oh! Oh, I really didn't want to do this today, but, gotta do it. Okay. Well, let's start emptying it. What do we have? Okay, so I have these cushions here, which were street finds. I think they're fabulous, but they outdoor, right? Cushions. And I washed them already. They were in the living room for a little bit. But they're gonna go in the 2 chairs down on the front porch. You know, remember those 2 wicker chairs? So they're here stored for now. Alright, so there's that. 2, there's a medium-sized suitcase that I'm gonna have Scott bring up to the attic where now most of the suitcases are. So that doesn't need to be here. And you know, I had a conversation with Scott. It's cold in here. About this and what we're gonna do with this space, and really we don't need the space. Well, it's not that we don't need the space, but okay, you remember this? Scott didn't want me to let it go, so I put it here, and then I just asked him, what do you want me to do with it? And his response was, wait, you didn't let it go? And I'm like, no, you told me to keep it. And he says, no, you can let it go. He forgot it was here. It's the big ottoman. You remember the ottoman? I've been stashing it in here because he didn't want me to let it go. So now we're gonna finally let it go. Okay, so let me put it out of the way. It's gonna go on the curb now. Next, we have the round table. Remember the round table? Same thing. Scott didn't want me to let it go. It's been here for 2 years. It forgot it even existed, so guess what? It can go. See, that's what happens. You put stuff away because you're not ready to let it go, and then when you go over an area like this again, you realize that, oh, I forgot this even existed. Well, obviously I haven't used it in 2 years. I can let it go. By the way, the ottoman and this table were both street finds. This from a long time ago. I mean, I think we were still renting when we got it, so that can go on the curb. I'm finally letting it go. Well, you know what? I think I can sell this. The ottoman I can't, but this I'm gonna sell. Alright, let me put it up on the marketplace now. Right, so it's on the marketplace, 25 bucks. Hopefully somebody is going to purchase it. What do we have? Empty boxes. I don't know. What else? Another suitcase, which I have to bring upstairs. See, there's mildew in here. That's the reason why I had removed the door. That really should not be in here. I'm gonna bring that to the attic with the other suitcase. You probably can't see anything here, but what do we have? There's this. That's my couscous cooker, which I've used twice in my whole life, but it's my mom's. I'm not ready to let it go. This is a really good tripod that was for my lights, but you know what? I could probably use it for this. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know what's in there. It's still here. Yeah, it's still here. And he's gonna have to do something about it. This is Scott's computer from over 10 years ago. And there's another one in the back. Let me go get it. I don't know what the other one is. It might be mine. Yeah, the other one is my old computer. So Scott is going to remove the hard drive, show us how to do that, and they got to go. That's it. There's nothing else here. Wait, a sock. And we got some of these leftovers. It's very awkward to film here, but those I'm keeping. Because you never know when you're gonna use a leftover of that stuff. I have a few pieces of wood here. They're here for a reason. And the reason is in the basement. Sometimes the stuff that you need to do, you need to prop something up in a hurry because of water damage or whatever. So I keep these pieces of wood here just in case. I know it sounds totally crazy, but if you have a flood and you need to prop something up, you may have to do it like right away and not try to figure out where the wood is in the garage. So I have this here for emergency. Okay. It took about 10 minutes to do this. This is ridiculous. I've been literally procrastinating this for 3 years. It took 10 minutes. Alright, so you know what I'm going to do in here? I'm only going to keep those extra boxes, those plastic boxes, you remember? I'm going to put them in the back here, and then the rest I'm going to use for my Etsy shop. I'm going to keep all my storing, all my extra boxes, my bubble wrap and everything, because it's underneath my sewing table and it's unsightly. It's the perfect spot right here. So now under the stairs, all I have is my packing material, which I'm almost running out of. I need to go to Staples. Extra boxes here, and then all of the plastic boxes that are leftovers, you remember from the last basement? Declutter are here, and those pillows that are really outdoor pillows, I'm waiting for the season to get better. Those will go up in the front porch, and that's about it. So I'm going to put the curtain back on, and these two computers, one of them being mine and the other one is Scott. Scott's going to show us how to remove the hard drive, and they are going to the recycle. This table here is for sale, and then this ottoman here is going to the curb, and then I have two suitcases that need to go up in the attic with the rest of the suitcase, and I'm done. That's all it took. Let me put the curtain back, and then we're going to tackle those computers. Okay, so we're in the dining room, and Scott's going to show us, finally, Scott, after how many years?
This is as old as Edward.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Edward's 17.
And it's been down in the basement for how long?
You tell me.
6 years, 7 years?
I don't know. I mean, it's been a while.
Okay. So he's going to show us what to do when you let go of a computer and you don't want people to steal your data. Pretty neat. Okay, what are we looking at?
That's the motherboard right there. This is a heat sink for the power supply. So the idea is that, for those that don't know, the idea is that the power supply is going to generate a lot of heat with the electricity flowing through it. So this just kind of transfers that heat into the metal, and it just kind of spreads, and therefore it has more area for that heat, which in turn cools it a little bit.
Okay. All right.
I think this is RAM right here. I'm not sure.
Okay.
These are the different boards for the different interface ports on the back over here.
Okay, fascinating stuff. All right,
Yeah,
so what do you need to remove?
This is the battery for the clock as well, but I'm not.
So what do we remove?
That.
This thing right here?
Yeah.
And what is that?
That is the hard drive.
Okay.
So, you know, obviously, like everything that the computer is going to use to operate is going to be on the hard drive. I mean, there's going to be some things that it can do without a hard drive.
But the data and all of that is in there.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, if you if you do your taxes on your computer, or if you, you know, buy Christmas gifts on your computer, then, you know, some of that data may in fact be stored on the hard drive. So you want to, you know, kind of make sure that that's not a part of
So
the
how do we
package
remove
when
it?
well, you want to make sure it's not a part of the package when you send it off to the recycling thing.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to start just by, you know, trying to get these little things out of here. I think this may not be the right size. I'm going to have to look at that.
These are star screws.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a star screwdriver, but it looks like it might be a bit undersized.
Yeah. Is there another one?
I don't know of another one.
Oh,
wait. Oh.
No. So what do we do now?
We either got to find one,
Or
or,
can we just bust it?
well, we can also take these things off. Try to unhook that. All right, so that's no longer hooked up to the motherboard. And then this thing here is probably providing power to the drive. So it either comes out of here, comes out of here. Unfortunately, they don't make these things to be easy to pull out.
Can we just bust it?
Well, I don't know.
So we're having a hard time removing this thing, and then we realized that there's a screw right here, that was holding the whole thing in place. So we can take it out. Now we can further investigate how we're going to remove. You know what? You could keep the hard drive instead of trying to destroy it. We get rid of all of this, but you keep the hard drive at the house.
Well, that's kind of the idea.
That's what you want to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I don't even really want to keep it, but you know.
But it's safer to keep it at the house.
Yeah, it's safer to keep it at the house.
Okay. All right.
There's another way of doing this.
So that's what we're gonna do. So instead of having, are you gonna cut the wires?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
You're never gonna use this hard drive, right?
No,
Okay. All right.
I don't plan to.
All right. So we're just storing it at the house not to save the data, but to avoid the data from being used by some malicious person, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's what you do.
Yeah, because the computer's useless now anyway. It's old and not much I can do with it. There. There.
Okay. So we went from storing this big ginormous thing here to just storing this.
It's got some weight to it.
It does. All right, so now we're ready with this, right? It's done. Do you want to try to sell the RAM?
I don't know. I don't even remember what the specifications were on the RAM, so.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to sell them.
But we could give them to Edward and see if he wants to sell them.
I don't even know how much is on those RAMs. Okay, so that's the RAM. What does it say? It doesn't even have a... these are Samsung. It doesn't even say how much RAM is on it.
Yeah, I can't tell. Oh, this says 256 megabytes.
Oh, please. You can't even operate a toaster with that now. Come on. We're not going to keep that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so,
you know what? These might also need to be destroyed as well, but you know.
All right, so let's put them to the side. Okay, so this we don't need, right? We don't need that.
We can recycle, you know, the rest of this.
All right, so the whole thing gets recycled.
Yeah,
Okay.
the city has a electronics recycling program.
Okay.
So you know, we can take it over there, and then they can do
Okay.
whatever they do with it. Actually, you know, there's
Let's do
businesses
this one.
that melt them down for gold.
That's true. All right, so let's do mine. So same thing for the Dell. It opens on the side. We got the cooling thing here, pretty cool. All right,
This
so
is the
we're
power supply.
that's power supply right here.
These are your drives, your optical or your flash drive.
So where's the hard drive right
I
here?
think that's the hard drive.
All right, so you got to remove this.
Yeah.
Pretty neat stuff.
I used to build stuff like this when I was in high school. Although comparatively much more primitive.
So for this one, you remove the screws right here, and here's the hard drive.
Here's the hard drive.
Okay.
So anything you bought that's stored, you know, on the thing, is going to be in here.
Okay. All right.
So I think this may be safe to go over to the, unless you want to remove the RAM, we could remove the RAM
Yeah,
as
remove
well.
the RAM. Okay.
All right.
So remove the RAM.
A lot of the times the RAM will just have these two tabs that you gotta, let's see if we can do it this way. So if you push those tabs out, they'll hopefully pop right out. Oh, I gotta do it on the other side as well, sorry. That.
Alright, so you remove RAM and hard drive.
Yeah.
And you recycle the rest.
Yep.
Okay. So we went from 2 obsolete computers to just this. 2 hard drives and a bunch of RAMs. And that doesn't take much room. We can keep that in a Ziploc bag upstairs in the attic. Doesn't really
You
matter.
could just hit it with a sledgehammer.
Oh, that you can destroy with sledgehammer. But finally, those 2 computers are out of the house. So finally, I did the under the stairs, and you know what? It really didn't take too long. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't kind of like blah. I mean, I didn't really want to do it, but I did it anyway. And I'm pretty happy with what we've done because we finally got rid of those 2 computers. They weren't taking a lot of room. They were out of sight, out of mind. But why keep this stuff?
They were heavy too.
They were heavy. I mean, over a period of 20 years, you keep doing things like that. You keep stuff that you stuff in the back of closets. And believe it or not, it amounts to a lot of junk after a while. So
How did you have that ottoman under the stairs? I mean,
I squeezed it in.
Oh my gosh.
Squeezed it in. So the table is for sale. I already got somebody who's interested in, but she wanted just $10 for it. I'm putting it up for sale for $25. We'll see what happens. I'm willing to do 20, 18, something like that. So the round table is up for sale. The ottoman is gonna go. And those 2 computers are gone. The rest is just plastic boxes. The suitcases are already ready to go up in the attic. You'll do that for me later on?
Sure.
Thank you. And the under the stairs is done. Can't believe I procrastinated that. Ridiculousness. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.